Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakachaja Astaterasati Sri Srimati Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakachaja Astaterasati Sri Srimati Bhakti Rakshri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission Morning Class. Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chitta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vidam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Excuse me. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribol.
Haribol.
Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is the 10th chapter of Antya Lila, the second volume, first chapter of the second volume. And we are hearing about the preparations prepared by Damayanti Devi and carried by her brother Raghunandan Thakur. Raghava Pandit, Raghava Pandit. Haribol. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Patala Mrit Patre Sandana Dibari Arashabhavastu Vare Vasrera Kutali. The condiments and similar items were put into earthen pots, and everything else was put into small cloth bags. Samanya Jali Haite Dviguna Jali Kaila Paripati Kari Shabajali Baraila. From small bags, Damayanti made bags that were twice as large. Then with great attention she filled all the large ones with the small ones. Jali Bandi Mohara Dila Agraha Kariya Tina Bojari Jali Vahe Krama Karira. She then wrapped and sealed each and every bag with great attention. The bags were carried by 3 bearers, one after another. This is very something to realize when we're doing our seva, to be very attentive that everything's being done very sweetly and nicely as possible by us. Sankshepe kahilo jalira vichara raghavera jali vali vikhyati yahara. Thus I have briefly described the bags that have become famous as Raghavera Jali, or the bags of Raghava. Jalira upara munsiba makara dwajakara pranarupe jalirake hanya tatpara. The superintendent for all these bags was Markara Dwajkar, who kept them with great attention like his very life. So in the divine plane we hear, everyone is engaged in some seva, particular seva, under some other higher devotee. And that is done, it's their very life. It is their very life and soul to do that. Emate Vaishnavas, I mean, it's, it's their divine heart's offering. Emate Vaishnava Shabanila Chale Aila, Daive Jagannathe Rase Dina Jalalila. That's all the Vaishnavas from Bengal went to Jagannath Puri. By chance, they arrived on the day when Lord Jagannath performs his pastimes in the water. Narendrera Jale Govinda Naukate Chadiya Jala Krida Kare Shababhakta Ganalanya. Boarding a boat in the water of Narendra Sarovara, Lord Govinda performed his water pastimes with all the devotees. Sheikale Mahaprabhu Bhakta Gana Shange Narendre Aila Dekite Jalake Lirange. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived with his personal associates to see the jubilant pastimes of Lord Jagannath in Narendra Sarovara. Sheikale Aila Shabagodera Bhakta Gana Narendre Tre Prabhu Shange Haila Milana. At the same time, all the devotees from Bengal arrived at the lake and had a great meeting with the Lord. So, just as the Lord was coming to Narendra Sarovar to see Lord Jagannath's water pastime, so all the devotees from Bengal arrived at the same time. So there was a great, celebratory meeting. Bhaktagana Pade Ashi Prabhura Charane Utanya Prabhu Shabare Kaila Alingane. All the devotees immediately fell flat at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord lifted and embraced every one of them. Gaudiya Sampradaya Shabag Karena Kirtana Prabhura Milane Ute Premera Krandana. The Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Sampradaya means group. It means our lineage. Also, we are also called Gaudiya Sampradaya. But Gaudiya Sampradaya means the group that came from Gauda, from Bengal in this context. The Gaudiya Sampradaya, consisting of all the devotees from Bengal, began congregational repetitious and would increase the size of this book. Jala Lila Kari Govinda Chalila Alaya Nija Gana Lanya Prabhu Gela Devalaya. After concluding his pastimes in the water, Lord Govinda returned to his residence. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the temple, taking all the devotees with him. The deity referred to herein as Govinda is the Vijay Vigraha in the temple of Jagannath. So there's a Vijay Vigraha means the deity who is taken out of the temple. So the deity coming out of the temple he is Lord Jagannath, but he's taken this smaller form in order to come out of the temple for these kinds of pastimes, because the original deity of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri is huge and very, very heavy. So there's the Vijay Vigraha. When there's a need to take Lord Jagannath somewhere, the Vijay Vigraha is taken because the body of Jagannath is very heavy. The Vijay Vigraha in the Jagannath temple is known as Govinda. For the pastimes in Narendra Sarovara, or that lake, Narendra Lake, the Vijay Vigraha was carried there instead of Lord Jagannath. Jagannath Deki Punani Jagare Aila Prasada Ananya Bhaktagane Kao Yaila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence after visiting the temple of Jagannath, he asked for a large quantity of Lord Jagannath's prasadam, which he then distributed among his devotees so that they could eat sumptuously. Ishtagoshti Shabalanya Katakshana Kaila Nija Nija Purva Bhashaya Shabaya Pataila. After talking with the devotees for some time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them to occupy the individual residences in which they had lived the previous year. Govinda Tanyi Raghava Jali Samarpila Bojana Grahera Kone Jali Govinda Rakila. Raghava Pandit delivered the bags of edibles to Govinda, who kept them in a corner of the dining room. Purvavatsarera Jaliya Jadakariya Dravya Baribare Rake Anya Grihelanya. Govinda thoroughly emptied the bags from the previous year and kept them in another room to fill them with other goods. So every year these bags are coming of preparations cooked by Damayanti, and very wondrous divine service there. And the prasadam, the bags that the prasadam were in from the previous year, Govinda kept them for putting other things in them from the other year. Aradina Mahaprabhu Nija Ganalanya Jagannatha Dekilena Sayotaneyanya. The next day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went with his personal devotees to see Lord Jagannath, and when Lord Jagannath arose early in the morning, Veda Sankirtana Taha Aramba Karila Shata Sampradaya Tabe Kaite Lagila. After seeing Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began his all-encompassing Sankirtan. He formed 7 groups, which then began to chant. So this Beda Sankirtan, Beda. For an explanation of the Beda Sankirtan, one may refer to Antya Lila, chapter 11, 215 to 238. A very interesting word, Beda. Here it's given, Srila Prabhupada gave the explanation, or the translation as surrounding. But in the translation he's saying all-encompassing. So this is a very fine kind of word. to describe the Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu. It's not in a relative position. It is a divine and absolute position. Shatta Sampradaya Nrichakare Shatta Jana Advaita Acharya R Prabhu Nityananda. In each of the 7 groups was a principal dancer, such as Advaita Acharya or Lord Nityananda. Prakreshwara Achutananda Pandita Srivas. Excuse me. Satya Raja Khanna R Naraharidas. The dancers in the other groups were Rakreshwar Pandit, Achutananda, Pandit Srivas, Satyaraj Khan, and Naraharidas. Shatta Sampradaya Prabhu Karena Brahmana, Mora Sampradaya Prabhu Aiche Shabaraman. Excuse me. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked from one group to another inspecting them, the men in each group thought, the Lord is within our group. Sankirtana kolahale akasha bedila, Shabajaganata bashi dekite aila. The congregational chanting made a tumultuous roar that filled the sky. All the inhabitants of Jagannath Puri came to see the kirtan. And also our Sankirtan party from here went out last night. Very sweet mood because there's a big gathering on Wednesday evening. So after being filled with Bhagavad Gita, they went roaring out to share. It's so nice. I think this will be a regular thing, right, through the whole summer. Raja Asi Dure Deke Ni Jaganalanya, Rajapatni Shabadeke Atila Chadiya. Accompanied by his personal staff, the king also came there and watched from a distance, and all the queens watched from an elevated parts of the palace. Kirtana atope prithvi kare talamala haridwani kare loka haila kolahala. Due to the forceful vibration of the kirtan, the entire world began trembling. When everyone chanted the holy name, they made a tumultuous sound. E mata katakshana karaila kirtan, apane nachite tabe prabhura hailaman. In this way the Lord had congregational chanting performed for some time, and then he himself desired to dance. So he's wandering from group to group, seeing them, oh look, and then now he wants to dance. Shata dike, shata sampradaya, gaya bhajai, majje maha prema veshe nache gaurarai. The 7 groups began chanting and beating their drums in 7 directions, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began dancing in the center with great ecstatic love. Udiya pada Mahaprabhu Ramane Smrita Haila Swarupere se pada gaite agyadila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembered a line in the Orisan language and ordered Swarup Damodar to sing it. Jagamohana Padi Mundayao. Let my head fall at the feet of Jagannath in the Kirtan hall, known as Jagamohan. Let my head fall at the feet of Jagannath in the Kirtan hall known as Jagamohan. E pade nuchakarena parama aveshe shabaloka chaudike prabhura prema jale base. Simply because of this line, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in great ecstatic love. People all around him floated in the water of his tears. Bol bol balena Prabhu Shri Bahu Tuliya Haridwane Kare Loka Anande Bashiya. Raising his two arms, the Lord said, "Chant, chant," floating in transcendental bliss. The people responded by chanting the holy name of Hari. Prabhupada Murchadhyay Svasanahiyar Achambite Ute Prabhu Kariyahunkar. The Lord fell to the ground, unconscious, not even breathing. Then suddenly he stood up, making a loud sound. Sagana Pulaka Jena Simulera Taru Kabu Prapulita Anga Kabu Haya Sharu. The hairs on his body constantly stood up like the thorns on the simula tree. Sometimes his body was swollen and sometimes lean and thin. So the Prakriti Sahajas can try to imitate all these things without any connection whatsoever with reality. But no one can imitate these divine symptoms found on the body of Mahaprabhu. And we have to remember that although these sound very strange, they're of inconceivable divine beauty. Inconceivable. They're the you could say visible symptoms of the deepest, profound ecstatic love of the Lord. So these are beyond our conception. But here we're just hearing something about that. But these are beautiful things. Even though if we see them on an ordinary body, it would be very, very strange. Of course, it's not possible, but Pratiroma kupehai prashveda raktodgama jajagaga parimumu gadgadavachana. He bled and perspired from every pore of his body. His voice faltered, unable to say the line properly. He uttered only Jajagaga Parimumu. Aka danta jena patak apritak pritaknade. Aichenade danta jena bhume kashipade. All of his teeth shook as if each was separate from the others. Indeed, they seemed to be about to fall on the ground. Kshane kshane bade prabhura ananda avesha tritiya prahara haila nrichanahi shesha. His transcendental bliss increased at every moment. Therefore, even by mid-afternoon, the dancing had not ended. Shabalokera uttalila ananda sagara Shabaloka pa sharila deha atmagara. The ocean of transcendental bliss overflowed, and everyone present forgot his body, mind, and home. The ocean of transcendental bliss overflowed, and everyone present forgot his body, mind, and home. Tabe Nityananda Prabhu Shri Jila Upai Krame Krami Kirtaniya Rakila Shabai. Then Lord Nityananda found a way to end the kirtan. He gradually stopped all the chanters. Swarupera Shange Matra Eka Sampradai Swarupera Shange Seham Mandas Svaragai. Thus only one group continued chanting with Swarup Damodar, and they chanted very softly. Kolahala nahi prabhuda kichu bhakya haila tabe nityananda sabara shrama janaila. When there was no longer a tumultuous sound, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to external consciousness. Then Nityananda Prabhu informed him of the fatigue of the dancers and chanters. Bhakta Shrama Jani Kaila Kirtana Samapana Shabalanya Ashi Kaila Samudre Snapana. Understanding the fatigue of the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped the congregational chanting. Then he bathed in the sea, accompanied by them all. Okay, this is where we can stop today. But a couple of points. Can remember that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body is completely transcendental. There's no difference between the inside of his body and the outside. In other words, he's not a skin bag like this type of body with all this stuff inside. This divine perspiration, divine, like showing blood, we have to remember that divine body of the associates of Krishna, and what to speak of Krishna himself, are all expressions of divine love, and that's what they are. They aren't anything else. Whatever is happening, it is all an expression of divine love. So all of these descriptions of the manifestations of divine love in the body of the Lord are not in any way material or comparable to anything that can happen with these bodies. That would be a symptom of impending death. But these are completely different things. And there's a new ecstasy at every moment. Guru Maharaj said this. At every moment, the surrendered soul is feeling a new kind of joy that has never been known before. This is not the same old thing over and over and over again that we try to get some juice out of in this world. This is all infinite. And I was hearing something about this morning. Srila Guru Maharaj was talking about the infinite. He's saying we have to understand there is nothing about him that has any restrictions. This is inconceivable to us. But he said that everything that we are telling the world may be falsified by him. No, I'm not that. So we have to live in livingness. Krishna consciousness is a living consciousness in a living plane. The infinite can be there's no restriction on him. We can't think, oh, I've got this. I've got this in my hand. That's insanity. Nobody can have Krishna in their hand, except, of course, that jita, that he becomes conquered by the love of the devotees. This is his nature. But this is something to keep in mind always, that we are being utilized for some purpose, trying to say something, trying to give some service according to the time and circumstances that we are in. Some service is being asked of us, but that can change, and it can be different for different persons. Swarupa Shakti can reveal herself in any way to anyone in different ways. But we will understand all of these things from those great souls. Otherwise it will become, a mental speculation thing. But this on a higher platform, it should be understood like that. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki jai. Srila Om Vishnupada A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. So again, it reminds me a little bit, and I've told this story before, but we have to, when in the old days, when I was a girl, and still in some traditions, when a man and a woman are dancing together, the man leads. he decides where everything's going to happen. And the woman follows that. And so we're just letting the Lord lead. And we are just trying to follow according to the circumstances and what service is coming. We are trying to surrender. And that is coming all the time. It's coming through every circumstance of our life. Some service is being extracted from us.
Dr. Scott Burton.
Oh,
Later?
yeah, I'll have to call back. Haribol. Okay, Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, Upadesamrta ki Jai. Haribol Jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai, Srila Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Vacho Vegam Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam Udarupasta Vegam, Etan Veganyo Visaheta Dhira, Sarvam Apimam Prativim Sasisya, Atyahara Prayasascha, Prajalpo Niyamagraha, Janasangascha lolyam cha, Sakir Bhaktir Binashiti, Utsahan Nischaya Daryat, Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sangatyagat Sato Vritte, Sadbir Bhakti Prasidyati, Dadati Pratigrahnati, Guhyam Makyati Prichati, Bhungte Bo Jayate Chaiva, Sadvidam Priti Lakshanam, Krishneti Yasya Giritam Manasadriyeta, Dikshasti Chet Pranati Bhishcha Bhajantamisham, Shushushaya Bhajana Vigyam Ananya Manya, Nindadi Shunya Hridamipshita Shangalabhya, Tishtai Shabhava Janite Vapushascha Doshe, Na Prakritatvam Miha Bhakta Janasya Pasyet, Gangam Vasam Na Kalu Buddhapena Panker, Madhavattvam Apagachati Niratarmai. And now number 7. Sya Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya, Pito Patapta Rasanasya Narochikanu, Kinvada Ramanudinam Kalushaiva Jushta, Swadvikramad Bhavati Tadgada Mulahantri. Mulahantri, the root of the disease. Oh, hantri means the remover of the root of the disease. Okay. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu, smricho kramena rasana manasi niyojya, tishtan brajetad-anuragi jaganugami, kalam nayera kilam ityupadesha sharam. Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of chanting and remembering Krishna's names, forms, pastimes, and so on. Reside in Braja and spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. This is the essence of all instruction. And that is verse number 8, and continuing to hear from Srila Guru Maharaj, page 205. Jai Srila Bhakti Raka Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Kama anda tama prema nirmala bhaskar. Kama is the most dense darkness, and prema is the most pleasing light. Raga is clear in Baba Bhakti, but only in Vastu Siddhi are we out of danger. In Swarup Siddhi, we are still in connection with this mundane world. It is small. It is small. But still, some connection is there. We may have full realization, but we are told that until the connection with the body is gone forever, and we are absorbed wholesale in that higher position, we are not out of danger. Krishna Lila is always going on somewhere, sometimes on this globe, sometimes on another. Like the sun passing through the zodiac, Krishna Lila passes through different universes. In the stage of Swarup Siddhi, we are allowed to have a birth in that universe where the Lord's Lila is going on and directly participate in the Lord's Prapancha Lila, or the pastimes within the perceivable world. In other words, perceivable by those within the world. Once we have had the chance to participate in the Prapancha Lila, then we are accepted. We become detached from all mundane touch, and our acceptance is final. We get recognition and permanent service. Otherwise, we are a probationer. These are the stages. Probation, a provisional stage of service in the Lord's pastimes, and then wholesale acceptance. Srila Guru Maharaj compared it to some fruit. The fruit is come from the tree, it is fully formed, and just being put somewhere for becoming fully ripe. And that will be Prapancha Lila. There will be so many encouraging pillars on our way. As we go, we will meet so many sadhus, so many devotees of different types. Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita has given a picture of how one gradually goes to that goal, meets different planes, crosses different company, and goes on until coming to Krishna consciousness, to engagement in Krishna service of a particular type. What is day to us, that will be night. And what is night to us at present, that will become day. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's completely the opposite.
Right. What is like, oh, what is that over there? That will become clear. And what is clear to us now will become like, oh, that will become a vague thing. The guidebook, the scripture, the name divine, all through will accompany and encourage us, help us to make proper progress in the proper way. So we must remember our mantras. We've been given this mantra, we have to honor the mantra. Both Gayatri mantra and Harinam mantra. Those must be given real attention by us every day. Given, it's a puja. And so that is very, very important for us. Just as Gopakumar in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, always taking shelter of his mantra. That mantra is eternal and infinite. Infinite. The name is infinite. So what cannot happen? What cannot come about through chanting? Where is the source of the sound I am chanting? Initially, we may feel so far away from that, but we will come nearer and nearer to the source. Did you hear that? Huh?
Please repeat.
Where is the source of the sound I am chanting? Where is the source of that? Initially, we may feel so far away from that, but we will come nearer and nearer to the source. Nam and then Rupa, coming nearer and nearer, the name will take form. And in Guna, we will see beautiful and inconceivable qualities there. And so on. They will be revealed to us as we come nearer and nearer. It will become more and more intense. We will feel all these things. First, there is sweetness in the ear. Then gradually sweet sight for the eye, sweetness coming through the ear, meaning the sound. And then the sweetness, then the rupa, the form will become sweetness for the eye. The newly opened eye of the soul. So many divine qualities will come. And then the divine pastimes, Lila, that will call us forth. Come to us, we are here. So Srila Jiva Goswami says, this very long verse, first listen to the holy name and cultivate that sound divine. Then gradually, if we do that properly, we can find that next there is color and figure, not drawn from this material world. That sound has its own figure and color and will show itself. Although we are presently far away from our original consciousness, when our mind is purified and we are free from worldly mundane thinking, then like lightning, that divine name will reveal itself to us, producing some color and figure within us, within our conception, and that form will be of another type, not like the color and figure of this world. It's not like this eye is suddenly going to see something. What does this eye can see? Practically nothing. So these are the commentaries that have been given for the 8th verse. And the 8th verse is, practicing. Do these things. And what is that? Let's read the English again. Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of chanting and remembering Krishna's names. Is there's so much going on online?
No, not really. What I'm doing is...
Okay.
Never mind.
But as long as you can continue.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear.
Names, forms, maybe you can do this later. Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of chanting and remembering Krishna's names, forms, pastimes, and so forth. Reside in Braja and spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. This is the essence of all instructions. So those personalities, they've come like pillars, Guru Maharaj said, and they're coming to engage us more and more deeply in our transcendental progress. Although we are presently far away from our original consciousness, when our mind is purified and we are free from worldly mundane thinking, then like lightning, that divine name will reveal itself to us, producing some color and figure within us, within our conception, and that form will be of another type, not like the color and figure of this world. So we are conceiving of Krishna's form, and he's mercifully coming. Mahaprabhu, the deity is mercifully coming in a form that our eyes can have some perception of. But as the name reveals himself to us, themselves to us, then another eye, the eye of the soul, is awakened, and we can see the divine form. Then again, that quality is classified according to different intensities relative to the paraphernalia. From the quality will come the association. That quality is classified according to different intensities relative to the paraphernalia. So in other words, then Lila will come according to the particular level of that soul, meaning that relationship. And there are different intensities. From the quality will come the association. It will all come from another plane and enter the soul's conception. Then from the name, form, quality, and associates will come their mutual transactions, the interaction between all these things, the waves and vibrations of different types, that is pastimes or lila. And then the soul will find that their purest, finest ego, who they really are, also has a part to play in such a position. They will see their own soul in a particular place, a particular location there. They will see, in this exact spot I am there, myself is there. In this way, the infinite wave will come. And this is all from sound. Guru Maharaj said, can we believe? Can anyone believe this mad statement? That everything will come from the cultivation of sound. But yes, because Krishna has come in this form. When Krishna himself came in the garb of Guru as Chaitanya, he revealed all these highest stages of realization that come from taking his name in the association of the sadhu. On the whole, this is advice given to us in the Upadesamrta. Tannama rupa charitari sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtam bhajetan anuragi jaganugami kalang nayet akilam ityupadesha sharam. Sharam means the highest. Upadesh means instruction. In substance, this is the advice to the devotees. Quote, in Vrindavan or Navadvip, in some such dham, as a subordinate to the real devotee, staying in his connection, we should go on taking the name and trying to understand the lila, the pastimes, how we can see him, how we are to hear about him, how we are to engage our senses and understanding in experiencing him. We should pass all of our time in such a spirit in the company of the sadhu. This is in substance the advice to one and all who want to be a student in this line. Haribol, that is from Sri Jiva Goswami. So we have some time. I'm going to read this Bhajana Lalasa by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Harihe Sri Rupa Gosai Sri Guru Rupete Shiksha Dila Morakane Jana Morakata Namera Kangala Rati Pabe Namagane. Oh, Hari, Sri Rupa Goswami in the form of Sri Guru spoke these instructions into my ear. O beggar for the name, understand my words and you will attain attachment to chanting the name. Krishna Nama Rupa Guna Shucharita Paramajatani Kari Rasana Manase Karaha Niyoga Krama Vidhi Anushari. Engage your tongue and mind in chanting and remembering Lord Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes with great care, following the gradual process. Vraje Karibas Raganugahanya Smarana Kirtanakara Enikila Kala Karaha Japana Upadesha Sharadara. Reside in Braja. Become a Raganuga. What does Raganuga mean?
Spontaneous.
Yeah,
For the Lord.
a follower of the Raga path. And engage in remembrance and chanting. Spend all your time in this way and hold this to be the essence of all instructions. Ha Rupa Gosai Doya Kari Kabe Divedina Brajabas Ragatmika Tumi Tava Padanuga Haite Dasera Asha. O Rupa Goswami, when will you mercifully grant this beggar residence in Braja? You are a Ragatmika devotee, And becoming a follower of your feet is the desire of this servant. Jai. So that concludes the commentaries, although there's really no conclusion to verse number 8. And we will be hearing for the rest of our lives about this essence of all instructions. And what does that mean? That's all going on. And Mahaprabhu, we just heard this morning, in this Veda Kirtan, this inconceivable type of divine, absolute Kirtan of Mahaprabhu, and this approach to the holy name. He's showing, he's Krishna coming as Acharya, and also with his own internal purpose. But he is also showing what kind of inconceivable experience is to be had from the chanting of the holy name. This is all going on during Kirtan. So this is extreme. So we're trying to understand these things properly. And Guru Maharaj this is the duty of the devotee, to read these books and try to understand things clearly, and then go on chanting without offense and carefully. All of our services should be done very carefully, and that also includes the chanting of the holy name. Although we know that we are very much fledglings in this department, very newcomers to the chanting of the holy name. But the holy name will come and take over. It won't be something that we can control. The infinite will come fully in that name, fully manifested. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur refers to the name Vrindavan Mahotsava, or Braja Mahotsava. I forget exactly how it is. But Mahotsava means, festival, Gokulera Mahotsava. Festival of Gokula. The name is the festival of Goloka, or Gokula. So what is the name? We're just starting to get maybe the slightest idea. But that name is the Lord Himself, and what is there we cannot really conceive. What is to be found in the name? So how we will approach the name is very important. Not with offense. Offensive chanting has no good result. Namabhasa, and we've been reading about this, and Namabhasa may have some result in liberation or all these things. But we want to chant the name in the line of our gurus, very carefully, with the mood that may I be yours. May I be yours. And this is going along with all of our practices in the mood of surrender. And we can really make progress, Guru Maharaj said, very strong progress. Otherwise it can take a very long time for progress. But it must come to the plane of surrender anyway. That is the plane of the soul. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Upadesamrta ki Jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnu Pad, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Haribo, Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Brajakachar Jastatar Siddhashri Shiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Brajakachar Jastatar Siddhashri Shiman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Sadgoswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tadira Sakama Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki